Okay. So welcome to my platform. Those of you that are new, those of you that are returning, welcome back. Okay, my name is Astraea, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So make sure you tap that like button, that subscribe button. Make sure that you see, I haven't put anything in the chat because for whatever reason, I'm doing this in a new setup right now. Well, it's not a permanent setup, it's just temporary. But I do not have accessibility to the chat. Let's see. Maybe I will. Maybe I will if you guys are on here, put something in the chat so I can see if it's going to work this way. Okay, because I'm recording with my phone. If not, I apologize that I can't see the stuff in the chat. Again, my regular stuff is not going to be in the chat because I'm not in my regular setup. Okay, good. I can see it. Hi, Phoenix Empress. I hope you're having an awesome day. All right, good. I can see the chat. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so okay. I hope everybody's having a good day. Okay, so we are going to just start with the prayer. We are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit and asking that they can be with us now. We're also calling upon our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including the archangels, our guardian angels, our spirit guides, and oh, good to see you guys as well. And our spiritual team of highest light and resonance. And we're just asking that they put a protective shield around us, keeping us safe from all negativity and all harm. We also ask that they block out anyone or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest knowledge, the highest wisdom, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for all of my subscribers. So now as we call upon your personal favor, God, please continue to bless us, prosper us, and keep us safe during this reading and afterwards as well. We put all of anything that comes up in the reading that could be not positive, we put that into the hands of God, and we thank you, God, for everything that you do. All honor, worship, praise, and glory goes to you, Most High. Amen. Okay, so by watching my videos, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please use your best discernment when listening to these messages. I suggest that you guys watch every reading on both platforms, okay? Because each reading is going to hold a personal piece of knowledge for you to decipher, basically, for your spiritual journey. So the good thing about that is that you can watch things, even if you feel like the message, not all of the message resonates with you or is for you, you can still learn from other people's mistakes, okay? And so you can learn not only from their mistakes, but also these readings will expand your gifts and your abilities and help you become more in tune with your intuition, which is what I want for everybody, because it's going to be a lot easier. Welcome in, Nick. I'm good. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. So I kind of got a message about helping other people. Okay, so we're going to talk about the good side of helping people and the bad side about helping people. I do think that the Christmas season is all about helping. It's all about generosity and giving to other people. But what happens when you give to the wrong person? Well, I'll tell you what happens. When you start giving to the wrong person, and this is just in general, okay, so I don't have my, my PayPal might be in the description, but you can send me a $20 super chat, $20 PayPal, or $20 Cash App, and then I'll pause the collective reading and answer your personal question. That's the way that I'm doing personal questions. So just an FYI. I don't have that written in the chat today because for whatever reason, when you set it up through your phone, it doesn't give you the same like options to monetize it in that type of way. So anyways, so we're talking about what happens when you give to the wrong person. Okay. Thank you. You take care as well. When you give to the wrong person, you guys will find out that usually when you're giving to the wrong person, you're going to get signs from the universe, okay? You could like literally be seeing 999, okay, 1919. Both of those talk about basically when you've given something to somebody and they've taken you for granted. It doesn't just have to do with that though, but it also talks about when you give to the wrong people, because everybody thinks that when you give to people, it's getting, you're going to get good karma back, right? But if you give to the wrong people, your life could become devastated, literally. If you think about it this way. Take, for example, an ex in y'all's past. What happens when you guys give to an ex over and over and over again? And this could be giving forgiveness, it could be giving money. You get taken advantage of, right? So there's always a good side and a downside to giving. Now, the whole thing with Santa Claus is all about giving, right? However, if we go back to the, truest origins of Santa, we have, at least in German folklore, okay, because that's what the Brothers Grimm, they did not write the Brothers Grimm did not write for children. They wrote to preserve German folklore, okay? So their stories, why they have like all of them have cannibalism and these other, very old ancient fears in them, is because it was to preserve the folk tales, not to basically write to take care of children. And so that's why the Brothers Grimm stories are traumatic. But if we look at if we look at ancient folklore will tell us that you don't give to bad people, okay? What does Krampus do? Well, Krampus, in the Alpine region, okay, in Germany, Krampus would, oh, thank you. Well, I unfold your life in the year 2026. Ooh, I love that. Okay, I'm going to finish this one thing about Krampus, just so you guys know about this fact. And thank you for sending that donation. And then I'll answer your question, Phoenix Empress. So basically, back in the day, and even now, they still have these Krampus nights, okay? These Krampus runs. So people will get all dressed up and they'll run through the Alpine mountains, right? And they make a big party out of it. But in ancient folklore, Krampus would show up with Santa. So basically, if you were good, Santa would leave you a treat. Oh, I'm so sorry you're sad today. Maybe this will make you feel better. If you're good, Santa would leave you a treat, like something sweet to eat. Okay, little basic gifts. If you were bad, Krampus would take out a switch and beat you. Not only that, okay, Krampus would, if like as a warning, would put a bundle of birch twigs, okay, like for spanking somebody, in the child's shoe as a warning. Now it gets even more twisted. Then the parents would take those bundles of twigs, okay, to like, if you're little Tommy, if you're not good, and they would put it on the wall to remind that child to be good throughout the year. So if we look back to the ancient folklore, whether it's Frau Perchta, which is another, being in ancient mythology, if you're good and you've spun all of your wool, okay, by the time that Frau Perchta shows up on the night of Epiphany, which is, I think, January 6th, then she'll leave you a coin. If you're bad, she slits your belly open and stuffs you with sticks and stones and straw and sews you back up and turns you into one of her minions. That's just one example. Then we have La Befana. La Befana is in Italy. She's also a witch, just like Frau Perchta. And when La Befana, basically, her story is about, she missed the three wise men at the time that Jesus was born, came to La Befana's house and asked her if she wanted to go with them to see the baby Jesus. And she was like, oh, I have too much housework to do. I can't go. Then after the wise men left, she realized immediately about her mistake. And so she basically, ever since, this is the folklore, has been flying through the sky with a bag of presents on her back on a broom, trying to find baby Jesus so she can give baby Jesus. I know it doesn't make sense, but this is just the folklore. So she can give baby Jesus a gift, right? So the story of La Befana is that she will fly, and every time she passes over a household that has a child in it, La Befana will give a gift, okay? So these are like where, we have the folklore of Santa and giving that was commercialized through America, through Coca-Cola. And we basically just took a whole bunch of other traditions and then formed it into one. So anyways, it's just interesting because even back in the day, they know that giving to bad people can cause very bad side effects. Like, let's say that you give your time and your energy to somebody that doesn't deserve it. Well, what could that do? It could drain you of your resources, right? Let's say that you give your time and energy to somebody who's working against you. That's like keeping an open door with somebody, allowing them to do whatever they want to you. So just know that when you give to somebody, make sure you do it from an open, loving heart, okay? And when you do it from the best space possible, would not giving to somebody with expecting anything in return, but just giving to somebody just because it feels good to give, you're going to get the cleanest transaction. But when you give to somebody that's wicked, you'll get an immediate like sign in the universe. It could be seeing 1919, 999. It could be seeing 1313. Okay. The number 13. I love that number. I think it's a good luck number. However, the rest of the world does not agree. You could be even seeing 666. Okay. So you'll know when you give to somebody that you shouldn't be giving to, because the universe will show you immediately, whether it's your angel numbers, a feeling, having your energy drained, or, somebody expecting more and more and more, expecting you to give more and more and more. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go into Phoenix Empress's question here. Okay. So we're talking about following your greatest bliss. I really like that because I do feel like a lot of you guys are here to give a helping hand to others. And I think the biggest lesson is that everybody's learning, including myself, is who can you help? Who are those people that are coming to you that want your help that you'll actually be able to assist? Well, when you're dealing, with narcissists, okay, and I'm not trying to be rude, like narcissism is some type of mental disorder. Again, I contribute it to be associated with narcissists, but a lot of you guys are here to help trigger these karmic people to awaken. And that's kind of what I'm getting, Phoenix Empress. The reason that you've had a lot of karmic people in your life is because you're here to teach them a lesson, not like, switches on a wall lesson, but more so how to love themselves, how to get out of that narcissistic energy. And if people don't realize, and the thing is that when you guys trigger narcissists, you're going to realize that it's like, did I get memories of Loki from Kaylee's up to, I don't know what Kaylee's is. No, I just have had memories of being Loki forever. I did not get it from anybody else. But yeah, when you guys realize that you're here to trigger karmics, okay, you'll find that you get bullied. You'll find that you get a lot of people that want to push resistance against you because you're actually here to teach them a lesson, not a switch on the wall lesson, but Phoenix Empress, more of a guiding lesson. Like, you could look at yourself, Phoenix, as a spirit guide in human form. That is literally what I would call it. Because you're here to guide people towards the truth and towards going within. And I do feel also, Phoenix, that you help people become accountable, and you do it in a very soft, loving way. So it's really all about how you guide others, what you're guiding them to. And I feel like you're guiding people to look within. Some people may be uncomfortable with that, yeah, so I don't know who this person is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to remove people from the chat. So I don't know if the extra sound, I don't know what you're talking about. The extra sound is going to you through pad split. What the fuck does that mean? Confusing contacts with common sense. Okay, I don't know who the fuck you are, Steven, but please act right. Just act right. This is not the platform, and I am not the person to come fuck with. Okay? If you're confused, then obviously you lack common sense. Literally. Anyways, just ignore that person. If you're confused about anything that I'm saying, then I don't know what to tell you. You lack common sense. Okay. So anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm answering Phoenix Empress's question because she sent a super chat with her question. So, all right, moving forward. So we're going to see what's coming in the year 2026. I'm cutting the deck like I always do. The Devil, the first card. Yeah, Mr. Diablo over here. All right, let me get some clarification on what this card is talking about. All right, so what I'm feeling is that there's something resolving here. There's an old cycle that's being buried, literally being buried very deep. Yeah, okay, so how I was talking about narcissists. This is basically it. You're leaving behind this mentality of feeling like you have to help everybody, because it's not your job to help everybody. It's only your job to help those people who need your help that will actually be able, you'll actually be able to help, right? When you're dealing with a narcissist, you can say all of the positive things to them. You can guide them towards the truth, but they may not want to look at it because it would cause them to take accountability. All right. So I do feel like you've moved out of the South Node. I would consider the devil, the devil card is associated with Capricorn, but I would consider it to be the South Node. Okay. So this is what you're leaving behind. You've been cutting cycles with people who are in this devil energy. Okay. You see how those people are bound to the devil? They're actually not really bound to the devil. They're just chained. These people could probably take those chains off and walk away at any point. And that's basically what you've done this year, is by coming into this month, you're basically ending an old cycle. And it's not just with one person. It's literally with a lot of people that you cut off. It's literally with a lot of people that you cut off. So you got some people that are still in their South Node. They don't know why you don't want to talk to them anymore. They don't know why you don't want to be around them. And you're just in that space of, well, I've done everything in my power to help these people. Yeah, it was draining your energy a lot. You've done everything that you could do to lead these people to the truth. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You know what I mean? And so that is literally verbatim what I'm getting here. Is with this devil energy. You've moved out. See, at one point, even though you've never really been in the devil energy, at one point you had a lot of people around you that were in the devil energy, even though you didn't indulge. There may be something that somebody wants you to indulge, like information or secrets about yourself. Yes, you feel much better now. Yeah, because this is the old cycle. This has been broken. Magician. So whatever this magic was that was being done, you've literally broken a pattern here. When I see patterns, I see them as cycles, because everything that we do is calculated upon a cycle. The moon, our periods, cycle with the moon, right? This is why I do not personally use the moon to manifest. I use the sun. The sun, even the light of the moon, is a reflection of the light of the sun. So says science anyways. So what I'm getting here is that people are in awe over the fact that you've been able to break these cycles. And they're still wondering, like, are you going to come back? Are you done walking away? I feel like you have walked away from people that you know that you just can't help, Hermit mode. Literally, these people are wondering how you are going to get out of this hermit mode. All it takes is being able to open up. I want you to know that not everybody is going to be in this devil energy. So it's like literally all you need to do is keep moving forward. This hermit mode is something that saved your life, though, because by you going into hermit mode, it caused you to ask those important questions, to go, who are the people that are benefiting my energy and who are the people that are not benefiting my energy? The people that are going to benefit your energy are not going to be people that want you to gossip, that want you to slander others. They're not going to be people that want you to go out and, take a bunch of substances. You get where I'm going with this. That all of the stuff I'm talking about is like, and I'm not saying that if you take substances or you drink or anything like that, that you are a devil. Okay. I'm not saying that about people, but I am just saying that those are like, lust, greed, All that stuff is like South Node behavior, basically. So the thing is that, you know, you don't judge people by the way that they look. You know, your energy is much lighter now. People are wondering how you've gone through this magical transition. And I feel like it's because you went into hermit mode. You isolated yourself from those people, places, and things that didn't serve you. And now things are looking like they're going to get much better. I don't know what this thing is that's popping up on my screen, but I'm just going to ignore it. So anyways, had you not gone within, it would have been much harder to cut these people off. But because you listen to your intuition, and that's what the hermit truly is about, is it's not always about isolation. It's about going within and being able to access that inner knowledge that you have and using your intuition, which is something that's gotten not only stronger, but you've opened new abilities by isolating from other people. Now, I will warn you that in this next year of 2026, the new people that come in to be your friend, to love on you, just know when they find out that you have this psychic supernatural power and ability, they may want to utilize that. Okay. So use your best discernment with people. Know when people are only hanging around you so that it benefits them. Right. And then also, and you can literally ask yourself, like, is this person only around me because they know that I'm psychic? I did not grow up having friends. Okay. I really didn't. I had like a few friends, but they were, you know, like Girl Scout friends, forced friends, you know, basically. Not all of them, but most of them. So when you know, I've always been psychic, but when I became a professional psychic and all these people all of a sudden wanted to be my friend, I was like, yeah, there's something fucking weird about that because people don't like me like that. And I knew that then. But it took me going through quite a few relationships with people to realize that, okay, well, these people are just using me for my abilities and for what I can offer them without giving anything back in return. And then I knew definitely when I started to struggle with, you know, being under witchcraft attacks and shit like that, and people didn't care about it, I knew that they were just using me for my ability. So be careful on who you tell that you have these supernatural powers to, because it's something that you want to talk about because it's something relative about yourself. But again, just know that people may be wanting to come in, you know, maybe they have good intentions at the beginning, but when they find out your true door to value, this is why sometimes you guys, God will hide your true door to value from people, so that people don't see how much you're actually worth, because then they'll try to get more and more and more out of you, right? 9 of Wands. See, you've definitely come out of this wounded healer energy. I don't feel like you may want to look and see where your Chiron is at in your birth chart, and that will show you where your deepest wounds are. But I do feel like, you know, this South Node energy that was surrounding you, okay, because you're not in the South Node, it was just surrounding you in people, places, and things, you know, it was keeping you debilitated energetically. Moving forward, now that you know how to go within, you know how to heal, which is basically showing me that, you know, I'm hearing to save, okay, there's a certain type of information that you have access to that it would be classified as in the Akashic records. Not everybody has access to this type of information. Save that information, especially when you get downloads about other people, because you're getting downloads from their Akashic records. Like when I say that people have to take like $1,000 courses, I know this because my aunt took a course on the Akashic records, and I mean, she can access a portion of the records, but not the full part of the record. The part of the records that I'm seeing that you have access to is past life. So that's a very interesting thing. When you get downloads about who people were in a past life to you, use that high priestess intuition, okay? Because I will tell you, if 9 out of 10 lifetimes that you had with them, they stabbed you in the back, they're most likely going to do it again. You're going to figure this pattern out, because you are this high priestess, you know, and people are going to try to put you in the energy of self-doubt so that you question what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're picking up. Okay. That's just the normal general energy that a lot of people hold because either they're not believers or they just, I don't know how anybody could not believe in intuition. Like that's just weird to me, but there are people that don't believe in spirituality. They're just walking around kind of blind to, everything else that exists. And so what I'm hearing is as above, so below. So you're going to get the as above information, and you just need to be aware that when that information comes to you, what you do with it. Because what you do with it is going to make the biggest difference. You can enlighten people, but I will tell you this. I had a friend that would always be asking me for psychic advice, and I would give it to her, and then she would be upset because the person that she was with was not the best person for her, right? So just be aware that, when you have to relay bad news, it's going to make people upset. But the thing is like, you're here to help people break patterns. You've already broken free of a pattern. This is exactly why you're going to be in the position to help other people break free of the same types of patterns. Because you've like literally transcended from this devil energy. Well, you weren't in the devil energy, but the people that were around you. Yeah, the fact that they don't means they blocked it exactly, and they can't trust their intuition. And those are the type of people that will be very hard to guide and help. And you'll see people have to live through trial and error, and you don't ever want to be like, oh, well, I told you so, but you're going to have a lot of those moments where you're like, I literally told you so about that person. Like I had this one friend that was dating this guy that was in the military, and I was like, is he married? Like I asked like 30 times. I'm like, are you sure he's married? Like he's not married. And then it ended up coming back in the future that the guy confessed to being married. And I was like, yo, I knew he was married. So you've just got to go with your gut intuition. Yeah, your father is one of them. Exactly. Yeah, very hard-headed people, And so don't waste your energy on trying to convince people of what they're going to figure out on their own anyways, okay? When people will value your advice, in fact, when you have friends, these new friends that you meet that come forward that want to use your high priestess ability confirmation, I would charge them for it. Okay, because it needs to be a fair exchange of energy. It can't just be always you giving, and then they receive, right? It's got to be a fair exchange of energy. That's the only way that you're going to be able to have a balanced relationship with somebody when they know about your abilities. When people don't know about your abilities, then they're not going to come for you like that, But when they figure out that you can do something for them, they're going to want that for free, and they'll want to befriend you for that purpose. So, also, you may come across other intuitives, other people that, I'm not getting that these people have the same connection that you have. I'm picking up on 3 females that you may end up coming into contact with. They could be other psychics. Okay, these people do not have a good connection. They're not connected to God. They're not getting their answers from the Most High. They're connected to a lower vibration. So they may try to argue with you on how to heal something. Just know that may also be a possibility in this next coming year. Yeah, because this whole energy of you being restricted is over. There was somebody that was trying to put you in restriction. I don't want to say like physical jail, but they just wanted to restrict you so that you couldn't use your intuition and your high priestess ability to make decisions for yourself. This is somebody that wants total control over your life, but they don't have that. And so they're pissed off. I'm also getting this big ass competitive energy. Who is this other psychic shaman person? Do you know another shaman? Shamanistic healing is like, it's abstract to me because I have never studied it, but I do know that there's different types of shamans, like nature shamans. There's like animal shamans, spirit shamans. There's somebody else that is in very much so competition with you. They're not actually competing with you, but they want to compete with you. So just be aware of that. I'm feeling a masculine energy and I'm feeling some feminine energies, at least 3 feminine energies. So maybe you're going to be advertising your services or starting a business in 2026. This is going to be a very big year of expansion for you financially. Okay. And I'm seeing that whatever this is that you're starting up and you're creating, you're not going to have to come out of pocket for it. It's going to be something that you literally just probably end up buying a deck of cards, or you could be even creating your own deck. I'm getting that these healing light codes that you get, you should definitely create an oracle deck with them and start selling that. I'm also hearing that, these financial changes are going to be like leaps and bounds in a positive direction. So you're going to gain not only traction, but attention from other people. So basically, welcome in, Melly Star. Basically, when this happens, you're going to be, it's like a moth being drawn to a flame. You are that fire. These moths are going to come in, okay? Allow that fire to consume these moths. Because I get that you're going to attract some people that are going to want to know your secrets. They're going to want to know what this Akashic record knowledge is that you hold. But these people may be like, oh, let's trade for services. No, because why I say no, it has to be a money exchange. That's like literally the only thing that you should be accepting. And even then, when people come to you and they want your services, do an immediate right there, then and there, like asking yes and no and using your intuition on whether you should read for them. Because I'm just getting that there's a trickster energy that, there may be a Queen of Wands that wants to compete that could be coming in to throw you off of your path, to make you doubt yourself because they don't want you healing the world, basically. This person wants your healing light codes, but they won't go with it and heal. Also, you are going to be dealing with somebody who is, I want to say like they want to come in and partner with you. Maybe they own a healing retreat or a yoga center or something like that. They already partner with people, but this person, their energy is off. Also, you are a very attractive person. You naturally have an attractive energy. You're going to be drawing in other attractive people and other people that are like-minded, but you just need to do an energy check on whether you should read for them or not. You'll know. You'll definitely know when you go, okay, God, should I be giving this information to this person? I've had people come to me before and lie about who they are and pretend to be somebody else so they could get a reading on somebody else. And even when they lie, the energy comes through the way the energy comes through. Somebody could give me a false name and it's still, because they're the one making contact with me, it's still their energy that I'm reading. So what I'm getting is a warning of be aware of people that may come to you asking for information. Discernment with your nervous system. That's exactly it. Yeah, they'll be asking for information about other people instead of their own life. I would just be doing readings for people, doing readings, energy healing. You may end up becoming Reiki certified this year of 2026, but I would literally just be doing it for the people that want help with their own self. People that are coming to you and saying, okay, well, what is the relationship between Susan and Joe? Okay, you don't want to get into that type of energy. This is where people will try to trick psychics into reading other people's energy that are not there. Okay, like for example, you could have somebody that's named Jill that comes and asks for a reading, but instead of Jill wanting to know about Jill's life, she asks to know about Susan and Bobby's life. That's kind of when you start to read other people's energy without them present, it can backfire, basically, especially if the person that wants to know the information is going to use that information for harm. That's why you just need to use your best discernment. And this is why a lot of the people that just will sit there and read celebrities and read people that are not there for other people, they just want the money and they don't care. But those are the people that, first of all, some of them won't get accurate information, and secondly, they could get straight up stepped on by somebody's ancestors. You know a few psychics that do that, yeah. Yeah, the way that my ability works is I can read other people's energy, but it's always through the person that asks. So if somebody say that Jill comes to me and asks me a question about somebody else's relationship, I can read her energy in relation to those people, but I won't be just reading those people's energy. Page of Cups. Okay, so you do definitely have some people that are going to be very materialistic coming forward. And this is where I think it's kind of weird how people will pretend to be spiritual, but it's only for financial gain. You know, you're not one of those people. You're, whatever this is that you're going to be creating, you're going to be giving it, you know, kind of like what I do, but not exactly. It's like you're going to, there's a portion of it that's free, and then people can contact you for services. You know, I would start by creating a website. Okay. That way you have, and creating a schedule. What I'm hearing is like, let's say you want to do readings and sound healing or shamanistic sessions. Make sure that you're giving yourself at least a day off in between each session, because every time that you heal another person, you're going to be healing a part of yourself, which means it's a lot of energy transference and a lot of energetic transmutation that goes on with that. So I would go one day, if you want, let's say you want to work 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Tuesday and Thursday, rest. Okay, that way you don't experience burnout, especially as you get started, because as you start to work, your gifts are going to expand very rapidly. Okay, and that can be like very chaotic if you're not grounded. So that's why I'm hearing to drink lots of water, make sure that you're taking time to rest, and then getting that website created is going to be crucial. And then putting up those services, that way when people contact you, you know, and I get that advertising will help, but you're going to draw in a natural clientele. So this Page of Cups energy makes me feel like, well, it makes me feel like whoever this is that's coming in, they may want you to partner with them or join their team. But they're going to be very financially focused, okay? It's not going to be so much about helping people as it is making money off of them. So just be aware that when you work for yourself, you don't have to have that energy, okay, of greed there, because you're not a greedy person. 2 of Cups, yeah. So, you know, people are going to be very interested in this soul contract that you have with the universe, how you get your information. That's something that I would never disclose. When people go, oh, how do you do what you do? That's a big red flag of how can I copy what you're doing and then do it myself? How can I get out of having to pay for a service and do it myself? Does that make sense? So there'll be little like warning signs, okay? How do you do what you do? Just say it's through God, because it is. When it's just the information that you get is going to be unmatchable, because it's going to be dead set accurate information about people, where you got other people that will want to either work with you or compete with you. These people are going to be coming in to try to figure out how to do exactly what you do, but they don't understand that you have to have a connection to God and the Holy Spirit, which you already have. You already have built a relationship with God and the Holy Spirit. That's why you're going to be in the position to help other people. These other people that have built relationships with whatever lower energies, they're only in a position to lead people astray. And so that's the big difference between you and everybody else. Temperance. Also, you're protected by Archangel Michael. The Sagittarius energy is just showing me that you have a contract with the archangels. Okay. So when you connect with them, they'll give you advice on how to deal with certain types of people and how to deal with certain types of energies, especially when it comes to creating new things. You may end up creating guided meditations with the archangels. I mean, you have so much angelic energy, like celestial energy coming through, that, yeah, it would be good to have a variety of things that you can offer people. Because I do get that, you know, guided meditation, shamanic healing, it's giving to others, but it's also healing yourself. King of Cups. Interesting. So let's get some clarification on the King of Cups. Who is the King of Cups? So I'm seeing 3 different offers here. Okay, I'm seeing a Queen of Wands offer. That may be somebody that's like, oh, let's team up, work together. A Page of Cups offer, which is somebody that this person's younger than you. Okay, this Page of Cups person that's going to come forward. Yeah, they're definitely going to want to be a part of what you're doing without having to do anything. And then this King of Cups energy. So is this Phoenix Empress's energy? Who is this? You may come into contact with somebody that gives actual shamanic healing advice. Okay, I get more of a shaman energy from this King of Cups. So if you were ever thinking of like working with ayahuasca or working with any type of, you know, true shamanic healing, you may come into contact with somebody that, oh, thank you. You may come into contact with somebody that can accommodate that, somebody that's going to give you wise advice, especially when it comes to dealing with people, places, and things. Because you think that because spirituality seems so safe, that it's going to be 100% safe, but there's actually a lot of predators that hide in spirituality, that hide as being a predator, you know, and they call themselves spiritual. So this King of Cups gives me a very warm, comforting, respectful energy. Okay, so you may have some, and this person could also be tied to Archangel Michael. So when this person does come in, or you end up meeting them, or you communicate with them, you're going to find that their advice actually helps you. Yeah, this person seems like they're going to have a lot of things that they can offer you without, you know, without like putting you through it. And this person might be a little bit older than you as well. I keep hearing Peru. I don't know if you want to go to Peru or if you're thinking about, because I think ayahuasca comes from Peru, but I'm not for sure. It may come from like the Amazon or something. Okay, so we're going to get some clarification on this healer, teacher, guide person that the archangels are bringing to you. This could also be somebody that has another platform that you frequent, their platform. Because I am getting like that Steve Noble energy, somebody that already works with angels. You may take that guidance that's offered on that platform and recalibrate it and give it to a bigger audience. As in, it's not copying it. It's just basically taking what he's already created and working on that, basically. Working with the angels specifically that he talks about. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles. See, this King of Cups is not going to be after your money. But they are going to teach you how to manage it. And I do feel like the angels of abundance are coming in to teach you how to manage your money in a way that when you're investing your time and energy, that it's going to give you profits. Okay. Now there is an energy here that feels like, you know, it's just something that wants to block you, but they're not going to be successful. Especially not in this year of 2026. This is going to be a big year of change and a big year of gain for you, literally. Modeling, there you go. 5 of Cups, yeah. Whoever this is that wants to put a restriction on your ability to make money, they're going to be in major regret. Like I said, you're going to be counseled by the angels, which means they're going to give you a heads up when somebody is on the dumb shit, basically. And I'm also hearing that you're releasing a lot of fears at this time. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being judged. Okay. I think that we judge ourselves much harder than anybody else judges us. That's just my personal opinion. And when you become this very spiritual person, this spiritual healer, an intuitive being, and somebody that helps other people gain access to their own Akashic records, it is going to draw in a lot of attention, and some of that attention is not going to be the best attention. But like I said, you're here. Just know that you're being put in the position that you are so that you can awaken people that are narcissists. All right. So when these people get drawn to you with the people that are good, because you'll be drawing in a lot of different people, just know that if somebody gets triggered by you, it's because your light has irritated their demons, literally. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, not that you're supposed to be irritating people, but obviously you're supposed to be waking people up, like being like that electric shock to their system to get them into alignment. So whoever these people are from your past, they're going to be in major regret because they were not able to see, because again, those people were stuck in their south node. They were not able to see your true worth. And you're going to get justice for that. Any past wrongs will be righted in this next year, literally, which means that you're going to have people that need to take responsibility for their actions. Okay. You can't, and this is another thing, that when you have people come to you and you give them the advice, if they do not take the advice that you give them, that's on them. Okay. If they want to come back and blame you for their life being shit, but they did not take the advice the entire time, that's literally on them. You know, you're seeing 1919. That's exactly it. So it's like you're learning who to give to and who not to give to. That's why I would use a pendulum, use the Truth of God book, use any technique that you can develop, you know, even muscle testing, to get you a yes and no answer on whether you should help that person or not. That way you're not you know, giving your energy out to people who are not going to respect it, basically. I'm also hearing that this is going to be like a year where you focus on finances and you focus on building a better future for yourself. I do feel like a lot of money is going to be saved. A lot of money. Yeah, this energy of the Fool, anybody that comes up against you in this time is going to be very foolish, because you're in your era of getting your justice. If anybody did you wrong in the past, they're going to be regretting it in 2026, literally. Yes, you're unlearning and releasing your fears. That's exactly it. And this is why you're going to be able to move forward, because you're not afraid of being successful anymore. It's like almost like you were more afraid of being successful and what pressure that would bring than being a failure and what pressure that brings, right? And so you already are successful. Like the fact that you've made it away from these people that were going to keep you in a lower nature, you've already succeeded. Literally, like by walking away, you won. You won the war by walking away. Isn't that funny? When we choose peace, how we win. And this is another thing, is that you specifically are going to be protecting your peace. Anything that disturbs your peace, I don't care if it is something that is little or if it's something that is big, walk away from it. You know, do not give your energy to it. Anything that disturbs your peace is not worth it, because you're being put in a position to inspire other people to get into alignment. If you're afraid of what that's going to do, specifically when you know, deal with people that are narcissists, then it's going to be harder for you to be in alignment. If you're afraid of, oh, well, if I put out this guided meditation, you know, are people going to think it's dumb? Are people going to respond to me in a negative way? Do not hold that frequency. Okay. Know that you are somebody that is very unique. You know, not all people are going to understand your light, and that's okay. That's what makes you unique. Just know that you will draw in a collective of people that need you, whether they know it, whether they know that they're in the South Node devil energy or not. Usually when we talk about the South Node, it is that energy of like gossip, unhealthy situations, you know, perversity, addiction, that type of energy. But you're going to be helping people heal from generational curses. When you can look into the Akashic records and see, okay, this issue that so-and-so has with their mother, on their mother's side with men, or with marriage even, that it's gone on for this many lifetimes, you can tell somebody, okay, this is the cycle that needs to be broken. If they don't want to acknowledge that, then that's on them. But you being able to relay the information is going to take people out of this foolish energy, out of this unaware. The Fool's not a bad card in itself. It's just somebody that's unaware of who they actually are. And the more that you learn your spiritual self, the more that you're going to not be afraid of this type of stuff. Yes, you're practicing to choose peace. Yes, and being more of your autopilot mind. That's exactly it. And like a lot of people talk about ego death, like, oh, it's the best thing. But really, we do need our egos. Our egos are what helps us in this physical world. However, when the ego is the main thing that's controlling us, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when that mind chatter becomes an issue. And so when you can quiet the mind and silence the mind, that's when you start to hear, to truly hear in the spirit. And so, yeah, by you choosing peace, and this is another thing too, by you choosing to protect your peace, this is why you're going to flourish financially so much. Because before, there was no peace in the way that you made money. It would come in, but you did not feel that peace energy. When there's that peace there, and this is why it's so important to protect your peace, when that peace energy is there, you don't have the energy of doubt because you know that it's going to come in. As when you find a way to serve your higher self and your highest purpose, like the universe will find a way to serve you. That's just literally, what you give, you will get. That's why I do feel like this King of Cups energy, this could be somebody that has a platform like Steve Noble. I'm using him as an example because he's just got such a great energy. And I love the way he's formatted his meditations. He's somebody that's very inspirational to me. So you may not actually communicate with this person to be inspired by them. Yes, money flows to you like oxygen. Yeah, I want you to affirm that I get paid to be alive, just to exist. I am getting paid just to exist. Just because I exist, I get paid. And knowing that that is actually true. The Two of Pentacles, you're going to get some really good news. Some really good news. This could be about a project taking off. This could be about somebody wanting to invest. I feel like this news is going to come, like next summertime. I'm hearing June. So it could be something that, all of these things could fall into place next June. I'm also hearing that this is a great time to begin whatever new project. Yes, you're paid to exist. Whatever this new project is, this new thing that you want to do, if it is modeling, I get a real good vibration off of that. This Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is a competitor, but the thing about the Queen of Wands card is that it's basically described as somebody that's very physically attractive, very thin. I think it even says thin without effort. Says signifies a popular and outgoing woman, attractive, healthy, fit, and fashionable, competent, divisive, and intelligent, methodical, planner, creative, and full of new ideas, practical with money, kind, emotional, cheerful, and easygoing. When I used to do modeling, it was very competitive. And the girls were not, well, like I said, I didn't have a lot of friends. So just know that you have a very unique look. And that's what people are looking for. I was noticing the other day that you don't have to be attractive anymore to be a model. I know that sounds weird, but like literally I was looking at these billboards and I'm like, you really don't have to be attractive anymore to be a model. You have to have good energy. That's literally what it's about. I also am getting that you're being prepped to be a leader and to be somebody that inspires other people. Yeah, the mean girl vibe has got to go. And, Phoenix, you've never been a bully. You've never been somebody that was a mean girl, but you have encountered them. So you know what I'm talking about. When, people get to thinking that they're better than other people. I feel like you ground people. You help them accept the parts of themselves that they would have rejected or hated. And you also lift people up. Page of Swords. Interesting. So you may get some information that somebody was watching you. Definitely is coming out. You could have multiple institutions watching you. Interesting. So what are they watching her for? Yeah, somebody is like waiting for you to go through an ascension. This person that I'm feeling is like, they're sad as shit. They feel so powerless to you ascending like crazy. Yes, exactly. Yeah, modeling would not be so bad. It wouldn't. And I feel like you're going to be able to brush these people off, literally. And there is going to be something about you know, when you get these opportunities, you're going to get more opportunities because of your attitude and because you like to lift other people up. And you show your true energy. You're not hiding anything. That's one thing that I feel like you have an upper hand on when it comes to this. Four of Swords. So this is an ending when it comes to these people watching you. Whoever's watching you, like this person feels like you're going to just fly away one day and never be seen again. And in a perspective that they could understand that is actually true, like you will go through an ascension, but you'll still be here to help other people ascend as well. Also, I feel like there's a death to anxiety. Like you could have had anxiety about a lot of different things, and literally that's ending. That was an old cycle. And I don't even feel like this anxiety that you were having was because of your own thoughts. This was just like ancestral anxiety. Maybe your mother had anxiety, or maybe she has anxiety. It was something that was learned as a child. Yeah, I'm getting like literally from ages 2 to 4, there was something that occurred that caused anxiety, and you've healed whatever that is. So now you know that people are watching you, and it doesn't even matter if they watch you with the evil eye, because it's not going to affect you. You've been able to keep your vibration high. Okay, so I see something good coming in June. What else does she need to know? Yeah, just be aware who you're giving your time and your energy and the information to. You'll be able to sniff out when people don't have good intentions. Yeah, the Six of Swords, you might be suing somebody. You might literally be suing somebody. Maybe that's what happens in June. I feel like somebody owes you something anyways. This could be a part of an inheritance or something like that that you don't know about. So this also talks about, you know, spiritual court. Somebody tried to come up against you, and they're up under judgment for that. This person does not want to admit that you were right. Okay, like I said, there are certain clients that literally, yeah, awareness is key. There are certain clients that just straight up, they don't want to hear the truth, right? And they don't want to admit that what I said, what you said was right. And this is why you just got to be particular on who you give your energy to. This looks like you may be going on a vacation as well. You may be taking a break. Or maybe with this new opportunity that comes around June time, I do feel like this is something that you're creating for yourself. You may have the opportunity to travel, okay? Yeah, Nine of Cups. This is part of your wish fulfillment, literally. So this is talking about like a deep desire is granted. I also feel like if there was anything that's going to go on with the courts, boom, you're going to win that. You're going to literally win whatever this is. This could be spiritual court or it could be physical court. Yeah, and whoever these weird stalkers are, okay, it feels like they're being extracted out of your energy, or they have been already. Yeah, I don't feel like these people are going to be able to monitor you in the way that they were. Yeah, because you've defended yourself. This Seven of Wands talks about you having the advantage and you winning. Like literally, not only you getting your dreams come true, also you could be becoming more physically fit. I feel like you have a beautiful, beautiful soul. You know, this is why you are so magnetic. Okay, what else? What else does she need to know? So this also says that if you have to stand up for yourself, whether it's in court or in spiritual court, if you have to stand up for yourself, just know that people are going to be competing for your energy and the resources that are coming to you. But, you know, when God stamps a blessing for you, that blessing is for you. It's got your name stamped on it. So whoever these people are, other people are, they could covet it, they could want it, but it's not going to go to them. And if this is something that was left to you by a relative, people need to start being honest and straight up about what they owe. Okay, because there could be somebody in your family that's trying to keep something from you. Yeah. And when you stand up for yourself, just know that people are going to criticize you because they don't have the ability to stand up for themselves. Let people criticize you if they want. Just like let it roll off your back like water off of a duck's back, because literally, when it comes to the bigger picture of things, these people that are going to be triggered by you are only triggered so that they can heal. Okay. Knight of Cups. So this person that may be wanting to come in to date, okay, you're going to have a couple people come in this year. But I'm getting that there's going to be a Knight of Cups energy that you're going to have to say no to, basically. This person is going to be maybe in their mid 40s. I don't know why I'm feeling like the energy of a photographer or something. Let's get clarification on who this person is. Okay, this person is somebody that's very fleeting. They may invite you to go somewhere. Is this like out of the country? Yeah, this person wants to come in as a lover. However, this person is not a twin flame, but they may come in and act like they're your twin flame. You're going to be able to sniff this person out. This is why I think it's so dumb when people like literally try to come into somebody that's a high priestess life and they want to confuse that person. That is retarded. You're coming in, you're dealing with a high priestess. They're going to sniff you out. This person's going to come in the moment that you gain access to this fame and public recognition and reward. Now, all of a sudden, this person's going to want to be with you. It's like, you're going to be able to sniff that out. And I do feel like you're going to block this person, but they're going to continually want to be with you. You've got actually like 3 people that want to be with you, and 2 of these people were men that you knew that you were not sexually attracted to or even romantic with. Okay, so confirmation, they still wanted to be with you anyways. Also, know that when your self-esteem goes up, that you're going to draw in people that also have good self-esteem, you know? Yeah, keeping stuff away from y'all on purpose. That's ridiculous. But I do feel that, you know, well, let's see. Is this some type of, see, this is the ending of a cycle. You have broken some type of cycle here. That's why the 6 of Wands energy is going to come in. This public recognition and reward, you getting paid for your work, you getting paid for your time, you getting paid for your efforts. If this is modeling that you want to do, I get a good vibration from that. I'm also getting a good vibration from you creating a website, or it's something online. Maybe it's a platform. Maybe it's a website. Whatever this is, it's going to reach a lot of people. So you just need to be able to give it time to grow, is what I'm getting. Knight of Wands. Okay, let me ask another question, because I don't like that knights are showing up. Okay, knight in shining armor, that sounds great and all, but you don't need to be saved from anything, Phoenix Empress. I don't feel anything after you. I don't feel anything attached to you. Okay, I don't feel anything like that at all. So why are we getting these energies trying to come in? This Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands. These are very sexual people. Maybe you've been being celibate, and these people can sense that. So let's ask another question. Okay, is it a thought or belief or a pattern that is attached to the bloodline? So Phoenix, you're welcome. Did your mother ever struggle with love, or an aunt, or a female? Because I'm getting that this is not even this lifetime pattern. This is like how we're talking about the Akashic records. You're going to be able to see this in she did? Okay. So this is something that is a generational pattern that just needs to be broken. Because it feels like men come in and then they leave, right? And that is not, you know, I don't know if you're going to be looking for a relationship in 2026, but the way that this cycle is set up, you're going to be pulling people that are in the night energy. When you're a high priestess and an empress, these people are coming in as knights. That's very much less. It's kind of like how your mother would date men that weren't shit, like that just were not on her level. Let's just say that. Yeah. So let's see what we need to do to break that cycle. Okay, first of all, we are calling forth any thoughts or beliefs that are attached to this cycle and attached to dating people that are not enough. I just want to say not enough because they're not good enough. And then also any other beliefs that you grew up with, feeling like you have to accept people's bum ass behavior. We're also including that. Okay, and then we're questioning, does it serve us to hold on to anything attached to this storyline and this cycle with our beliefs? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to release that. And then we're going to say also, Spirit, if there's anything, any other subconscious or unknown beliefs attached to this, we also want to release that. And if any beliefs come forward or any memories, release them. Just know that you don't have to hold on to that energy. Okay, so now let's see, because I get that 2026 is going to be all about money for you, but then you're going to have these people wanting to come in and derail you off your path. I also feel like your mother was an intuitive. Your mother was a very empathic person, okay? And I do feel like she got the brunt end of relationships. You know, I'm seeing some domestic violence and some really sad shit that she had to go through, and she didn't know that she was a part of, welcome in, Girl Gone. She didn't know that she was a part of the pattern, okay? So you have the ability to do what your mother couldn't do by breaking this pattern, and that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, because this pattern causes you to carry a bunch of wands. You don't want to take on a relationship that's going to make you have to carry a person. You know what I mean? Just because you're a healer doesn't mean you have to heal everybody, okay? And you don't want a man that is coming in that's a project. Like, you don't need a man that you have to fix. If you can't love them for who they are and the way that they are naturally, then you don't love them at all. Just know that, because you can't change somebody else, right? You can only change yourself. So what I'm getting is that this Knight of Wands is going to be coming in with a bunch of burdens, wanting you to overcommit yourself and to basically take on these burdens for them. You know, this could be a child that they have. This could be whatever. And the thing is that you need to know that you're worthy of love. You're not desperate. You're not in the same position where, like, the people that this Knight energy dates are very desperate people. You're not the type of person to go put somebody up under a love spell because you want to be with them. Like, literally. We know that that love spells are fucking deadly and dangerous. And I sincerely do believe that, because I was up under love magic with my ex-husband and he almost killed me multiple times. And so that was his own dumbass doing. But I suffered it because I didn't believe in witchcraft at the time. Yes, you learned it the hard way, dated for 7.5 years and it didn't work. Yeah, so we're breaking that cycle. Okay, so what else does she need to know about this? And this is all stuff for the rest of you guys to learn about. You know, this is why I say watch every reading, because each reading will hold a personal download so that you don't have to go through situations and keep repeating the cycle. This cycle, it's time for it to end. And it feels like you're about to go through another ascension. And ascension to me is not, okay, dying and rising from the dead. Okay, that's called resurrection. But for me, ascension is like you basically becoming more like your higher self, more like God. When God is the ultimate, like, what we should be looking to want to be like is more like God. And even though God is very unconditionally loving, it's love, joy, and peace, point blank, period. That's what the energy of God is. You can be that to people without having to overextend yourself. Welcome in, Melly Star. Literally, you can be that joy, love, and peace for people without having to step out of your own energy or without having to overextend yourself to somebody else. All right. And this is something that I think healers struggle with. When you figure out your ability to heal and how you heal, you want to heal everyone and everything, right? But step back from that, okay? And know that you can only heal the people that want to be healed, okay? Jesus said something about this to me a long time ago. He said, if the person you're trying to heal does not have faith that the healing will work, then literally, you know, that person won't, because they won't believe in their own healing. And so they won't be in alignment to receive that healing. So this is why Jesus did not go around healing everybody. There's a story of Jesus visiting some city, and I've told this many times, but he visited this one city, and somebody came up and asked him basically, oh, will you do an exorcism on my daughter? And he's like, no. You guys sleep with animals, like bestiality. You guys literally sleep with animals. I'm not going to do an exorcism on your daughter so that you can go to another demonic ceremony and get possessed all over again. That's almost verbatim of like kind of what he said. And so, or that's what it was documented at least. And so that's why I want you guys to know that, being a healer does not mean that you have to heal everybody and everything. Okay. So let's get a conclusion. Then I'm going to answer Girl Gone's question. Ooh, why did this gray visit you last night? Okay, we're going to definitely talk about that. So yeah, this is going to be leaving, Phoenix, you're going to be leaving some people in the Nine of Swords, unable to move forward. I don't mean to laugh about this. It's just, you're a real catch, okay? Literally. I don't know if you've ever heard of that saying, there's many fish in the sea. You know that concept, literally. You're a real catch. You're going to be leaving some people in the Nine of Swords when you reject them, point blank, period. And I feel like you've already rejected somebody and they're just like furious because you're moving forward in peace. Okay. Let's get a conclusion. Well, this is the conclusion. Literally, God is extending a cup of love to you. This cup of love is going to cause you to have very intense, loving relationships and friendships. You're also drawing in a soul tribe family. These are going to be the people that back you and support you. I'm also getting that you follow your heart and your instincts, which is going to lead you basically to the right people. I'm also hearing that whoever this new person, yeah, why you're going to have somebody in the Nine of Swords is because the new person that comes in, you're going to accept this new love that comes in. It's coming from God, it's coming from the archangels, and it's coming from your ancestors, and it's also going to be coming from a physical person. And when you meet this soulmate energy person, you may end up meeting them online actually. You're going to be able to count on this person. So it's going to have somebody else in the Nine of Swords real sad. But again, you're not going to be repeating a cycle where you accept bum behavior. And this is really your era to shine. You've sat by and watched other people shine. Now it's your turn. Like literally, there's nothing anybody can do about that. People need to get over it. I think there's room for everyone on the planet to be successful. That's how I believe. I don't believe in a lack of resources. I believe that whatever we can fathom when it comes to abundance, we can create. I truly do believe that. And you're going to be experiencing a lot of abundance when it comes to your spiritual abilities. And then how you integrate that into your personal life, will be how you choose. But just remember to use your intuition when it comes to who you can help and who you can't help. And know that pattern with your mother did exist. Well, with the females in your family did exist, but you don't have to keep that pattern going. You can be the first one to break it. And then you can show your mother, your sister, your aunt, whoever is another female in the family, that they don't have to follow down that same path. Okay. So I hope that helped you. Now we're going to move on to Girl Gone's question. Why did this gray visit you last night? Okay. Does this have to do with your gifts? All right. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Okay. So, I don't know, Grogon, if you were focusing on anything that has to do with like extraterrestrials recently, or if you had a dream maybe, but I'm getting that, well, what I was just talking about with the other psychic was about basically a fear, it's some type of fear when it comes to extraterrestrials. Yeah, I'm getting that there was something that happened in the dream state that you might not be remembering. Because when I tried to connect with the energy, it was like, boom, a block had been put, like in whatever. I would say literally it's some type of psychic block that was put into place. But yeah, why they visited you is because you've got a fear. And so we need to get rid of that fear. Which is showing me that I also have a fear about them. Because I was asking to make sure that it wasn't about your children or anything like that, because they do come to gifted people, but I get that they're not positive beings. So let's see if anything comes out in the cards with that. But I do get that there is a fear about, abduction, experimentation. And I do also feel like you were visited as a child by not these, well, they were grays, but not the same exact ones that came to you last night. Also, there is something about the location that you live that makes it easier for them to access. Okay, there is definitely something buried in the earth. Like, it's not in your house, not under your house. It's what I'm being shown is like, okay, I'm being shown like I'm being shown a desert, but then it's being shown off in the distance. There being like rock piles or like kind of cliff-like looking things. I wouldn't call them mountains. I wouldn't call them, I would call them probably rock piles, literally. There is something buried over there in the earth. Okay, interesting. So let's see what else comes out with that. But yeah, I don't get that it has to do with your gifts and abilities, but I do get that it has to do with a fear within you. And again, being abducted, that is a very common fear. Like, I feel like that is a fear that 3 points, Tucson, a triangle. Okay, that's it. Part of it has to do with you being in that vortex. Absolutely, part of it. But that's, the fear within you about it is what's, and the fact that you're on that portal is what's manifesting it, right? So there maybe these rock things that I'm seeing, formations, could be, it looks like a mountain with an observatory on top. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, literally, that's what I'm seeing. But I do get that the fear within you about it is what drew this experience in. And so that's what we want to resolve. Knowing, when you know who you are spiritually, you know that you are more powerful than any extraterrestrial. And the reason that grays come to people when they're children, like ages 3 to 4, is because that's when you don't know who you are spiritually. The moment that, and I consider grays to be artificial consciousness, artificial life forms. They cannot reproduce, and they are not born in the sense that we're born, like through a mother's womb. That's not how, grays are created in a different way. But these are not positive beings for you. Do not think that these things are your friend in any type of way. Because they're not. And somehow and that's why I wanted to check and make sure that it wasn't about your children, because a lot of the times they'll come, you was told not to be afraid. Good. Yes. Do not be afraid. Yeah. Okay. It's, if the extraterrestrials themselves told you not to be afraid, then they know damn well that they're being drawn in because of the fear that you hold. So, let me just ask if they have any other intention. No, I mean, the reason that they're in the atmosphere has to do with the vortex, but the reason that they came to you has to do with the fear. So, it could be an unconscious fear, it could be a dream that you had, it could be any of those things that drew them to you. But the reason that they're in the general vicinity is because it's almost like that energy vortex works and functions as a portal for them to manifest, if that makes sense, into our reality. Magician, like literally like magic. Also, you becoming aware of your own magical ability, you can probably put up boundaries. I would use that vortex energy to heal, to be honest. I would definitely use that vortex energy to my benefit. It feels like it ties into the grid working on the planet, which means that you'll be able to use the grid working in the planet. I would definitely, you was told something big was going to happen for your birthday involving your gifts. Your telepathy was going to be higher and activated. Okay. And when the Gray talked to you, it was through telepathy. Absolutely. Yeah, they talk through their minds. Okay. So let me ask one more question. One more question. Are these Grays wanting to use her for anything? Because it feels like they want to use her or something. Because they were telling her like not to be afraid and stuff. Feels like that. Is it something bad? Yeah, the fear is the main thing.
Yeah. She can't get past that. Then she just keeps the door open to something like that happening.
Yeah, she is in the Tucson vortex, which is another thing that adds to it. It feels like they use the vortex to manifest themselves.
And that's another reason, or another subject that she believes in. Because it's not that those things don't happen or aren't there, but she's drawing it in because she's heard about it, she's accepted it, the vortex concept.
Okay.
And so it's not like a fear, it's just that she believes it's giving an open doorway
For them to access.
yeah, so she needs to know that she needs to become neutral to that, so it can still be out there, but
But it wouldn't be drawn in. Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, we were just talking about that, and you're right. There is something that's big that's going to happen, but these Grays want to use you for something that's not positive. Okay, and so what I was just talking with the other psychic, we're talking about, that was your belief, well, your fear that basically, yes, I am taking donations through super chats. Yeah, so it's basically your fear that drew them to you, right? But then it's also your belief in the vortex that's allowing them, because okay, how demons and extraterrestrials can function in our reality is based upon our belief. Like if we believe that they can move objects, they'll be able to move objects. I know that sounds weird, but it is really through belief. And so detaching from, we're just going to call forward all beliefs about about extraterrestrials, about the vortex. And remember, you don't have to believe in something. You don't have to believe that the sun's going to rise in the east and set in the west. It's going to do that either way, right? So even though, yes, the vortex is a real thing, yes, it is attached to your property and all of that, believing in it is what's giving these grays access. And so we just want to shut down their access, because what they want to use you for is not going to be something positive, okay? Yeah, they're when I ask, like, they're not even neutral. They're really not neutral. Okay, so Kaiser Mingo, so it's $20 per question, just an FYI. The gray was asking you how you used your gifts. Oh my gosh, that is so suspicious. Okay, because I do get that you're going to have an activation, but it's not coming from the grays, it's coming from God. The activation that happens on your birthday, it's actually going to probably happen a week before your birthday, is what I'm getting. Or it's at least that's when the ascension energy is going to start. And so what I'm hearing is that, I would do not disclose how you use your gifts, even if you knew how you use your gifts. Don't disclose that. These grays are trying to get something out of you, literally. And I feel like they don't want you to know how powerful you are, because you'll be able to keep them out of that, at least that portion of the vortex that you live on. Because I'm getting that there may be a certain boundary of the vortex, but there is more than one vortex, and there's more than one extraterrestrial object around where you live. Like, I was seeing a triangle, and it kind of reminded me of the Bermuda Triangle, just like a really weird place where anomalous things occur. And so, okay, so I will get to your question in 1 second, New York Greek. So yeah, what I'm getting is that when it comes to these beings, tell them no. I'm hoping that they don't come to you again. But the best thing that you can do is know that you are more powerful, and that you telling these beings how you use your abilities, they want to put some type of block in, point blank, period. Okay. There's something that they're like, the grays. I've heard people say that the grays are versions of us from the future. That is such a fucking lie. No, they're not. They're artificial intelligence put into some type of weird ass body. And I'm not trying to be rude, but they literally are that. And so they are not versions of people in the future. That's a lie. So again, when you're dealing with, energies like this that are problematic to the planet, that our government's given them full 100% consent to do whatever they want to us, which is literally verbatim, that's a problem in itself. But you're a very important person when it comes to the awakening of the planet. And so the grays do not want that to happen. They don't want people activating and using their gifts. So if they can figure out how to shut down our psychic abilities, and how to shut down our intuition, and how to shut down our ability, just think of the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel is falling. And in a sense, it literally is. And it's people like you, people like me, that are breaking it down little by little. As that tower falls, we're going to be able to communicate with one another again on a new level. And that is going to keep people from being separated from one another. And so, these grays, they don't have a good intention, and they're mischievous. They definitely want to figure out how this is why they abduct us and experiment on us. They want to figure out, first of all, how we reproduce, because they can't reproduce. They want to know how we bring in new life, and they also want to know how we use our gifts and abilities, because it's abstract to them in the way that they think. And so, I would definitely cancel and rebuke them, and literally just know, stay cautious, stay very cautious, because if they're looking at you, they're probably looking at the DNA of your children as well. And they're going, how is this new DNA, this activated, already online psychic DNA coming through? And to them, it's a problem, because they want us to stay blind, deaf, and dumb, basically, if that makes sense. Okay. So yes, be very cautious with that. Know that you can use the energy of that vortex to your benefit, okay? And you can use it to heal, and they don't want you to know that. You're a life path 4. That's a very protected number, yeah. And very connected to the earth. This is why they don't want you helping the planet ascend. I think that you're in the physical position that where you are right now, literally, so that you can help heal the earth right there. And so, if you do that, the planet's going to start to ascend, especially in the part of the world that you're at. So this is one reason why, as the vibration of the planet increases, these grays are going to be making more contact with the earth, and they're trying to use you as a portal to manifest, basically. So I would just be very wary of that. Cancel and rebuke them. And to be honest, I don't think that they're going to be able to, maybe if they had abducted you when you were a child, they'd be able to stop you. But at this point, they're basically powerless when it comes to putting any type of blockage in. If that makes sense. So, and that's what I was getting. It was like immediately I felt like it was trying to block me. Okay, so we're going to move to the next question. And that is, so be patient with me, you guys. Okay, so New York Greek 743. You are asking, that was the next one, right? Okay, and then we'll do Kaiser Mingo, then I'll do your question. Okay, so what does the Taurus want you to know about possible dating her in the future? Interesting. Okay, we're calling people by their astrological association now. You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Your first time seeing one could be very unnerving. Yeah. And my experience with them has not been good. They're neutral to me, but still. You're a triple Virgo. Well, you know what, New York Greek? Virgos have their own superpower. I truly do believe that. Like, they're very, very innocent nature. So let's look and see what's going on with the Taurus, okay? So immediately what I'm getting is that you could be dealing with somebody that's in their bag right now. They could be very focused on finances and less focused on having a love relationship. Okay, that's immediately what I pick up. I'm also hearing that if you've got more than one option, okay, be afraid of overgiving, right? New York Greek, be afraid of overgiving, because there may be somebody that just wants to consume your time and energy without giving back. But I do feel like a good physical connection with this person. So when I look at compatibility, 1 being the worst compatibility, 10 being the best, I'm getting that this person is a 3, and it's more about where they're at in their life journey and where you're headed. And that's what's the difference that I'm picking up on. I feel like you're headed basically towards creating a family of your own, having a family, having a good career, literally. That's the direction you're going in, okay? This other person seems like it just feels like they don't want to settle down or something like that. It's like they don't, it's Knight of Pentacles. You're dealing with somebody that works very hard. And again, we're taking the gender out of tarot because we have both masculine and feminine energies. So you're dealing with somebody that works extremely hard, and they're very much into their bag, into their money at this time. It's not to say that they don't care about you. It's just they care more about themselves and where they're going at this time, okay? But this person is very down to earth. They are pretty honest. They may keep their word as well, but at the same time, when it comes to looking for long-term goals, you may be wanting something more than what this person can give you. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're being warned about this person in the future, okay? Maybe they're working so hard because they're going through some type of court battle, or maybe they're about to. Sometimes, Virgos will overgive, and who just said that, of overgiving and becoming frustrated and drained? That is completely accurate, Melly Star. Literally, maybe this is like something that this person's about to go through. Whatever shitstorm they're about to go through, you do not want to be a part of that. I'm also hearing that this person is good in bed, but other than that, that's like probably where the majority of the compatibility is coming from, is the physical connection. Also, this person that's in their bag, this Taurus energy, you know, their view for their future. This is why it's good to ask people what their life path number is if they know that, or to just ask them where they're headed in life to make sure that your goals align with the greater goal, okay? Because if you're dealing with somebody that is like, oh, okay, I'm career focused, I want to date multiple people, etc., etc. And is there a location difference between you and this person? Like, is this a long distance relationship? Yeah, I'm literally getting that this person might be about to be restricted. That is crazy. Okay. So one reason why they haven't reached out, or they have been off and on. Okay, New York and New Jersey. So there is a difference in space. There's a space between you guys. One reason, like, it feels like there's about to be a restriction put on this person. And if you were to like move in with this person, you would feel trapped. Okay. So just know that. I think it's because this person's acting from their south node, which is more of, you know, being materialistic, being greedy. You don't know this person as well as you think you do, is what I'm getting. Yeah, because they're about to be blocked, or they're being blocked. This could be why they're so focused on money and getting it. And also be aware that this person may be attracted to you because of your finances. 444 confirmation. Literally. You're protected from this person, though. Like, I also want you to pay attention when you're around this person. How do you feel afterwards? Do you feel drained? Does this person sit around and talk about their ex? Do they sit around and talk about everything going wrong in their life? You know? We can't expect people to be 100% positive, but if they're trauma dumping on you, which means like they're just unloading all their trauma on you for you to have to carry, the type of person that this Taurus is more of a type of person that wants somebody to basically, you know, the old-fashioned way of a relationship, wants somebody to be the provider, okay? And while they sit at home and not have to worry about anything. That's where this person's mind is at. You know, even though they're a hard worker, they're only working this hard because they're, you know, dealing with some type of drama. And I also feel like this person is still like they're being drained financially by somebody else. Something is draining them. And so if you were to get with them because they don't know about what's going on in their own energy, you would become very drained as well. And I also feel like this person has not opened up their heart to you. You've opened up your heart to them, but they have not reciprocated that energy as far as when it comes to opening your heart and being honest. So they could be hiding something from you. You could be this King of Pentacles. Like, this could be very well be your energy. I feel like if you were to get with this person long term, it would cause you to be stagnated, okay, having to deal with their problems. And I get that you've overcome a lot of major issues. Yeah, not really heart opening yet. Yeah, I feel like you've overcome a lot of issues when it comes to finances, when it comes to lack and scarcity. And so when you're dealing with somebody that hasn't made it through those trials and tribulations, it's like they still have a lot to learn when it comes to that. And especially when it comes to being devoted. You want somebody that's going to be devoted to like the relationship, not devoted to them getting in their bag, which yes, of course, everybody has to make money, but just be aware that because you are financially doing well, some people may be attracted to you just for that purpose. Okay. Yeah. And this is like a major warning with this person. 10 of Swords. Look, the King of Pentacles is somebody that, you know, is very financially well-to-do, gives generously. You're a giver. Your love language could very well be giving, you know, giving your time, giving your energy, giving your love. But if it's not reciprocated, then you need to know what to give to and what not to give to. I'm also hearing that there may be spiritual and religious blockages between you two. You're not rich, but you still have something to offer. And you're not rich yet. Because when I see the future, it's like, if you don't move in with this person and go down this other path, you're going to be in the position of a King of Pentacles. This Ten of Swords energy is like, you know, being with somebody that thinks that they're a victim all the time. Yeah. If you walk away from this situation, and I think that you've been getting kind of like signs about this situation that we're talking about this person. I think you've been getting signs. It's just when you are sexually attracted to somebody, it's hard to discern those signs. She is battling a custody battle. See, and this is exactly what I'm talking about in court. This is going to be something that financially drains the shit out of her because she's still attached to whoever this ex is, and they're literally draining her of her resources. And so if she, you know, this ex could also be this energy, this Knight of Pentacles energy. And it feels like this person, whoever her ex is, they've got some type of help. Like they may not be rich themselves, or they could be, or they just got somebody that's giving them money to fight this battle. So whoever this person is facing too many, this is not the time for them to be dating. Let's just say that. It's really not. She should be focusing on, you know, how she's going to work it out with this psychotic loser that she had a kid with. Not to be rude, but you're like the exact opposite of her ex. When it comes to personality and stuff, you're completely different than this person. So yeah, I would just be aware that, you know, she's going to be forced into some type of restricted something, which could be that, you know, well, first of all, there's a big difference in where you guys are located. Okay, which makes long distance relationships are difficult. But I don't feel like this lawsuit, whatever this custody battle she is, I don't feel like it's going to go in her favor. I feel like the father may get custody or may get she may end up even having to make payments. 45 minutes drive is not bad. Really? From New Jersey to New York? Wow. That is wild. That's wild. Yeah, no, that's not super bad, but it's still not like this person's easily accessible. You have to drive 45 minutes. And I don't feel like you moving to where they're at would be a good idea. The only way that this could work out I don't even feel like it could work out peacefully because again, if this person moves to stay with you, and that's the way that the relationships head is like, first you date, then you move in with one another, then you get married. Like usually that's how it goes. If this person were to come and try to live with you, you would have to take care of their kids sometimes, which you may not have a problem with that. But also, whatever this financial debt that this person is in, you would have to take on that financial burden. And that may not be something that you're ready to do or that you even want to do. And it may not seem bad right now. It's because the court case has not been concluded yet. And you want to become this King of Pentacles energy. It just feels like the person that you're dealing with drains your energy, you know? Yeah. You drive fast, literally, you know. And also I'm getting that if you can, I don't know what you do for work, but whatever it is that you're working on, continue to move in this direction. If you're like thinking of creating some type of like computer program or business or I don't know, office program, business program, whatever this is, create it. This is like you have a lot of creative energy right now flowing through your system. And yeah, just be aware of who you're giving your energy and time to. Because you're about to complete something major. When it comes to your work, you write books, okay, and TED Talks and DNA testing. So this is what's going to make you a lot of money. Okay. You may end up coming up with some type of, you know, like way that people can find out what their lineage is, and something with nutrition, how to eat, how their ancestors ate, something like that. You may end up coming up with something that people can buy as a book, as a program, and learn from, and then actually apply it to their life. So I don't know if you're interested in nutrition, in how genetics work, and how different things contribute to, obviously, like they say that if you find out what your lineage is, see what those people ate, and then, you know, you may come up with something that's very spiritual. Here is what I'm getting. It's like science and it's spiritual. Whatever pays the bills. Yeah, exactly. But you're going to be creating something that's long lasting. That is, you know, if you avoid this tragic situation, know that you don't have to rescue everybody. It's not your job to rescue everybody. You're dealing with somebody that wants to be rescued. They want to be saved, and they're thinking like they're the victim, even though this person is not a victim. They created this situation with their ex. They need to deal with it, and they also need to deal with the courts. And I feel like there's something else that's major that's being hidden here from your awareness. Yeah, you know, this person could actually be talking to other people. There's a lot of competition. I don't feel like there's a lot of competition when it comes to what you do for work, because you have your very own unique scientific perspective, but you're gaining more of a spiritual perspective as well, which is they're going to tie into each other, and it's going to help you develop something that's long lasting. I do feel like there's going to be, if you want marriage in the future, that's going to be available, but you know, you're just being warned that this person's going to drain you of your time and your energy, and they may not be willing to open their heart to you or be honest with you, you know, about their situation. Okay. And with the look at that card, the Six of Pentacles. This person may have to make payments, okay, for whatever reason. Could be to a lawyer. And they could be looking at what you do for work as an ability to make payments. This is why I feel like, yeah, you're just being warned. This person might not have your highest and best good in their mind. They could be thinking only about how you can benefit their life. I also feel like this person's unwilling to compromise, and they would, when it comes to moving forward, they would expect you to abandon where you're at to come be with them and to take on all of the bills and everything like that. That's the type of person that you're dealing with. So you're just being warned about that, and that there may be something else going on with competition. First of all, I will tell you this, whoever this person's ex is, they still want to be with this person. Why this ex is going to fight tooth and nail with this person is because they don't want to let them go. Her ex is not going to let that shit go. Not even after the court battle's over. It's still going to be arguments and fighting about when to drop the kid off and pick it up and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's just messy. But I do feel like, you know, this work that you're doing is going to be really positive. Keep writing those books, okay? Literally. You're about to uncover something that people do not know about when it comes to genetics, and when it comes to like food or nutrition. You're about to figure something out. Could be some type of code. That's why I was like, if you're creating a program or something that would guide people towards being more healthy, yeah, you're going to get a lot of public fame and recognition, okay, for whatever this is that you're creating. Like, that is inevitable. But it does say that there's no get rich quick plan for you. This is like something that you have to build over time. So keep working on it, and know that if you continue to invest in this other person and the problems, well, you'll be consumed with their problems, and then you won't have time to invest in the work that you need to be doing. And I don't want to call this person a blessing blocker, but they would take you off the spiritual path that you're already on towards success and this person expects you to fix their problems. Okay. They may not say that, but that's what they would expect if you guys were to move in together. They would expect you to pay for everything and fix all of their problems. And this is what just flew out in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. This person is unbalanced. So just know also that with these TED Talks, you're going to get some type of criticism. But again, just know that it's because whatever you're saying is going to trigger some people to heal, you know. I do feel like the right person will come. You just have to be able to say no to this person that wants your time and your energy. Yeah, because the temperance in the reverse talks about overcommitment. You don't want to be overly committed to somebody who is still looking for other options. Yeah. It talks about arguments and competing interests dominate your life. Danger of drowning or accident at sea. That is so weird that that's on that card. But literally, you're just being told that this person cannot balance their dark side. And they can't balance their own energy. And they think that their shit don't stink. Everybody's shit. Person thinks that their problems are not a problem. And that you should fix them. Okay. So yes, get the stories out. Get general healing through genealogy. That's exactly it. And it could also be tying into how your diet affects. I will straight up tell you that the stuff that's put in, give me one second to finish this person's reading, then I'll get to your question, okay? But yeah, literally, when it comes to this temperance and the reverse energy, you know, you don't need to be juggling 20 different things at once. It's going to be easier for you to put all of your energy into one basket or 3 baskets if you're working on a TED Talk and 2 books or whatever this is. But you're going to be finding that, you know, I have figured out that why Jesus fasted and why was because when you fast, your connection to God just opens. You know what I mean? Oh, absolutely, sweetie. I will look at your question in just one second. So you're going to be figuring out the aspect of, you know, the foods that you eat contribute to, and this is why the world has created poison in our food, basically, so to keep our vibration low, to keep us from awakening. Because when you put the right foods into your body and eat correctly, like simple, like one thing at a time, you know, like 1 cucumber, uncooked, like you'll see how your body responds and how the energy is recalibrated and how you go through a spiritual awakening. And this is one reason why Jesus fasted for so long. It was because that inner, you know, that inner standing that was gained. Yes, this person is going to remain unbalanced. They're also going to go through a lot more chaos, you know. It's just up to you. Like, I don't see this situation working out well, but just know that every situation is a learning experience, you know. Oh, thank you for joining the membership. Every situation is definitely a learning experience. So you can take this situation and learn from it. But if you do end up putting all of your eggs into one basket with this person, you will have to go through a lot of crap. Okay. And it'll take you out of the energy that you're in right now, where you're creating something that could benefit a whole collective of people. And so you're being guided basically to use your intuition and to not overcommit, because the energy of Virgo is all about being innocent, virginity, having those qualities that are very intuitive, very down to earth, very driven, very motivated energy. And you're dealing with somebody that is focused solely on money, and they don't, you know, and they're focused on what's going on in their life. If you take up this person's custody battle, you'll go through problems. And so I can't tell you what to do or what not to do, but my advice would say that, you know, just know that if you decide to move in with this person, you're going to be paying all of the bills, because this person is struggling right now with money because they have to pay these lawyers and stuff like that. Welcome in, TMH Suga. So yeah, just know that that's, you know, it's going to be a difficult thing to go through. You're also dealing with somebody that may still have feelings for their ex, even though they hate this person. And even though, like, it's a very weird energy. But yeah, this person's ex does not want to let them go. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. This is what she's focused on. She's focused on money. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody that's money driven. They're also very nurturing and down to earth, but just know that they're unbalanced. Queen of Pentacles is unbalanced. So I would think about those things. And then what you can do is you can ask this person what they want out of the relationship, where they feel like it's heading. And I would literally ask this person what their life path number is, so you could get a little bit better intel on what the energies of their life are, and then you can look at the energies of your life. And if it's going in two completely different directions, then you don't want to be weighed down by somebody else's problems. And you are somebody that loves to help fix people's problems, but it's not your job to fix this person's problems, if that makes sense. If you had a child with them, that would be a different story, okay? But you don't have a child with this person. So I would say love yourself first and listen to your intuition, okay? And then ask yourself, ask this person what they want out of the relationship, okay? All right, I hope that helped. Okay, so we're going to move to the last question. Okay, 2 questions for the super chats. Okay, so what's Erica Pisces True Currents thoughts? You're Scorpio, interesting. And what does she truly want from me in this connection? Okay. Okay, so let's see. Well, I'm feeling an overabundance of emotion here. Okay, there is something that's very deep with this connection, but then there's also something that's very deceptive. So what I was just being told, okay, my intuition is telling me that when it comes to relationships, Kaiser Mingo, do not hold an account. What I'm saying is do not, in your mind, do not make like a record of past wrongs, okay, with somebody when you're in a relationship with them. I know that seems hard not to do, but what I'm getting is that if you want to be with this person, you have to, forgive, let go, and whatever happened in the past, it happened in the past, right? It's not in the present moment, okay? It's in the past. So letting all of that go, that's if you want to be with this person. Okay, you do understand that, good. So yeah, if you want to be with this person, let go of the past, because the past is in the past. And if you keep holding on to what was said and done in the past and keep bringing it up, then you're just going to stay hurt. And so giving yourself some grace and giving that other person grace, so that you can heal from these past wounds. Because what I'm getting is the majority of the stuff that you feel hurt from has happened with more than one person. It's it seems like you attracted somebody that won't fully commit or confirmation, or they will only tell you half truths, right? Okay, so is there a location difference between you and this person? Or are you able to access this person physically? That would be my next question. So if there is a difference in location, that could be why there's an overabundance of this emotion. I just feel an overwhelming feeling of hurt, and it's not coming from this other person, it's coming from your energy. Yeah, it's a lot of illusions. The 7 of Cups is somebody that's stuck in their shadow. I think this is what I was trying to describe. Oh, a co-worker crush of yours. I gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you want to heal this shadow energy so that you don't keep having the same experience over and over again. Because when you think of when you look at relationships in life, you're a victim to something, whether you are or not, because yes, I do believe that we are all creating our reality and our beliefs, but things happen to us, but they also happen for us. Okay. You're just being guided that there may be some illusions about this person that you're not aware of, okay? And there may be other things, too, that you need to become aware of. So this also is saying that your judgment may be clouded when it comes to this person because of your perspective of the past. Welcome in, 50 BXO. Yeah, so your judgment may be a little bit clouded because of what you've been through in the past. But know that when you detach from the past and you allow yourself to heal, you're not going to recreate that cycle if you allow yourself to heal. But if you keep bringing up those past events in your mind and replaying that, then you're just going to stay in that shadow energy and traumatized. So yeah, there is a little call for being, not allow your judgment to be clouded by the past. And then I'm also getting that, okay, it's like, the workplace is a community setting. The Three of Pentacles is like having a soul tribe, but this is about a community setting. You don't want to create illusions in the workplace when it comes to love, because that's going to be really difficult, especially when you're dealing with somebody that you see on a day-to-day basis. All right, so let me ask another question here. So with you, so let's say that you do end up healing from the past, okay? Because you've drawn in a certain particular person over and over again. So let's say that you do end up healing from the past. What happens then? Yeah, you just don't want to have to be in a position where you have to defend yourself to keep your job, okay? So I would not be telling, if you have friends at work, I'm getting that these people are not actually your friends. Do not tell whoever this is that you're working with, do not tell them about your crush on this other person, okay? Because they're not going to keep their mouth shut about that. And you don't want tension to be caused in the workplace, right? Have you ever gone out with this person? Like actually on a date? Because I'm also feeling like, an inaction. I don't know if it's a fear to ask them out or whatever, but you just want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position to where you have to, as a group thing, but not one-on-one. Yeah, that's why I'm feeling like if you really want to pursue this person, it's not impossible, but you're just being warned that if it goes wrong, it could affect your job. That's basically what I'm getting here. And where both of you guys are water signs, you're very emotional, very deep. I do feel like this person is attracted to you, but they're also attracted to somebody else. So I don't know how close you are to them. If you can ask them if they're dating, if they're dating anybody or if they're getting into a serious relationship. But make sure that if you talk to this person, it's not around other coworkers, especially in this type of way, okay? Because you could have more than one person that's interested in this person. The person that you have a crush on, there's more than one person that wants to date them, is what I'm feeling. The Five of Swords, you could also be dealing with somebody that's going to always put themselves first. Again, like in the Five of Swords is putting yourself first to the detriment of other people. This talks about conflict and hostility, defeat and destroy important projects. You may have somebody at your work that also has a crush on this person. That's why I'm saying don't reveal to anybody that you work with that you've got a crush. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, there may be somebody that wants to bully you as well. That's weird. Okay, but this person is not going to bully you if you don't tell them that you're interested in this person at your work. Okay. Two of Cups. Look. Two of Cups is not a bad card. The Two of Cups is definitely a soul contract. It says two people come together after a long flirtation. A broken relationship is healed through forgiveness. Connections are made in business. Wow. The start of a new relationship that will have a dramatic effect on your life. Okay, so heal from these past wounds, okay? Good, you wouldn't tell anybody if you ended up together. Good, because they would try to separate you guys immediately because you've got more than one person that wants to pursue whoever your crush is. The Pisces energy. which means that they're very attractive. There is something about them. I do feel like they're very intuitive. I feel like this person can sense that you, okay, I think that they can sense that you have a crush on them or that you're drawn to them, but I don't think that they would ever say anything to you about it. That's why I feel like to have a conversation with this person, make sure it is not in a group chat and make sure that it is done privately away from other people. And 50 BXO, if you send me a $20 super chat, I will go ahead and do a reading for you, okay? So the Two of Cups is like literally, it says it right there, a new love affair. It's a little risky to do it at work, but like I said, if you heal from these past wounds, and it's just keeping account, it's like keeping a score in your mind of how many people have messed you over. If you heal from that, it's gonna make it so that this relationship is much more healthy. Okay. So yeah, if you guys end up together, make sure that you communicate with this person when they're outside of work and make sure that it's not in a group chat connected to everybody else. And then, you know, keeping up healthy boundaries is extremely important. Okay. Yeah, when I look at compatibility for you guys, I look at between 1 and 10, and I see that you guys are a 3. I feel like because you guys work together is the reason that you're a 3. If you guys were not working together, I feel like you guys might be a 5 out of 10 compatibility. So there is something else going on at work behind the scenes. I feel like it's somebody else that's got a crush on them. Yeah, so basically what I'm feeling is that, you know, you may be facing some drama at work, basically, is what I'm being shown. Magician, okay, but you also have the ability to transmute energy is what I'm seeing here. So there may be something, I don't know if it's a work party or something like that. You gotta get this person when they're by themselves and talk to them, okay? Because I do feel like they would be interested into knowing more about you on a personal level, but you know, having these conversations, like, let me just ask another question. Okay, should they ask this person out on a date? Yeah, the King of Cups came forward. So you are being given very wise advice right now. I don't feel like this person would overstep the boundary and ask you out, to be honest. I feel like you would have to do the initial, you know, making communication and everything like that. And so however you can figure out how to get this person's personal number and stuff like that, and then make sure you just keep it a secret, which, again, it's risky. Just depends on how much you love your job. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. Because this Pisces person, they're single, self-sufficient, able to stand on their own 2 feet. Okay. The good thing is that they don't need another person to feel whole. But I would be trusting your discernment. Also, you may have some good luck coming. Okay. What type of good fortune is this that I'm picking up on? Yeah, this person's very attractive. Okay, this Pisces, they're very beautiful. This is why I was like, there's somebody else that's definitely interested in them. So you got a little bit of competition when it comes to that, but I do feel like communicating with this person's going to be important, and finding out if they're even willing to date anybody that they work with. Okay, because this person could have a rule or a boundary, like, I don't date people that I work with, and yes, good fortune is coming your way. I feel like within the next 5 years, you're probably going to have access to this Wheel of Fortune. I also feel like you may end up creating a family. So you're at a very crucial point in your journey right here. Very crucial point in your journey. You're just being guided to use your intuition and And the good thing is that you're not, the person that you're interested in is somebody that doesn't, they're self-sufficient, you know. They're not somebody that's needy. They're not somebody that's going to drain your energy, but they are very sensitive. They're a very sensitive person. Okay, so, you know, you got to be real gentle with this person's heart. I feel like if everybody would treat others as they wanted to be treated as a general rule, things would work out. But just know that you are dealing with somebody that's very sensitive and very attractive. And this person has been hurt before. This Pisces, they have been through the shit before. They know like this is why I say that this person could have boundaries. They know when to cut people off and when to walk away because they're extremely intuitive. Yeah, like it says on the Queen of Swords card, it says there's been a lot of conflict and sorrow in her life. That's what I was just drawn to. So you're dealing with somebody that also has been very deeply hurt. Okay, they could be working through their shadow at the same time as well. So it would be beautiful for you guys to come together. Just know that you have a little bit of competition when it comes to, because this person is obviously very attractive. There's something about them that more than one person likes, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, what else do we need to know? King of Swords, basically, you've got somebody else that feels like they are a better fit for this person. I don't feel like the Pisces wants this King of Swords energy, and that's not your energy. Okay. So the King of Swords could be somebody that's very judgmental. This person could be a supervisor or somebody at work. this is why I'd be very wary of telling anybody that you're going to, if you start dating this person, but you're going to have to make the first move. She's not going to overstep that boundary of workplace. She considers you to be a good friend. That's how she feels, okay? And she thinks that you're attractive, but as she has not looked farther into anything else. She's definitely going to be afraid of whoever this manager is. I don't know if she's getting hit on by a manager, but there is somebody at your work that likes her. Yeah, this person is in devil mode. So just be aware that you may have a dickhead manager or something like that would definitely throw a fit if they found out that you two were dating. And so let me just ask another question. Okay, if they were to date, would this manager, if they found out, would they fire collective? Yes, I get that you're dealing with a petty ass person, okay? This person that's interested in the Pisces is very petty, and they would, you have a good feeling who the manager is. They would definitely find a reason to try to fire you if they found out that you were dating this person. And I feel like, you know, this Pisces has tried to cut off this manager's advances more than one time. And I get real creep energy from this manager person. So yeah, those are the problems that you're facing. But other than that, like that's why the compatibility went up to 5 out of 10. And I'm getting that it could even increase even more if you guys weren't working together. And so I think the hardest part would be to keep it a secret and don't tell any of your other colleagues that you've got a crush on this person or anything like that. Keep it completely to yourself, because they will mouth it to this manager and this manager will freak out. Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah. So to make this relationship go in any direction, you're going to have to make a communication to her, maybe asking her out for drinks, whatever this is, however you're going to do it. But just make sure, like I said, that it's not in a group chat, not in a group setting. Okay, let's get one more card and we'll see. Because the Knight of Cups energy, that does feel like that's your energy. I do feel like you make decisions with your heart. You think carefully before acting and speaking. And I do feel like what you have in common with this Pisces is how devoted you two are. Okay. When it comes to love, you guys are very devoted people. You're very, very deeply intuitive, very sensitive people. And so make sure that when you communicate, because what I'm seeing is the energy of Mercury. When you communicate with her, make sure that you're not saying things that you wish you could take back, okay? 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is talking about sorrow, loss, arguments with a lover. That's literally what I was just talking about. Make sure that that you've healed those shadow wounds from the past relationships that you've been in. And don't think that everybody is the same, because this Pisces is actually a very loyal, honest person. They're not a cheater. They won't betray you. But if you continue to think that people are a certain type of way, then that's what you will experience, is people being that certain type of way. That's just how our thoughts and beliefs create our reality. And this is how cycles and patterns continue to repeat, especially if you saw your mother and your father argue, you know. Take arguing out of, because this Pisces, what I get from their energy is they're not going to be somebody that's going to sit there and argue with you. They'll just like, shut up. They'll just be really quiet. And when this person is quiet, you have to like literally know that something is up, all right? Because they're not going to be somebody that's going to just like sit there and argue with you. And the past relationships you've been in has been with toxic people. I'm not saying you're toxic, but you have been with toxic people because you are always going for a certain type of aesthetic with a person and not looking at the content of their character. And so that's why you attracted in these hood rat people. I don't know what to call them. Literally, it's a type of ratchet woman that like loves to bicker and argue. That's an old toxic pattern, and releasing whatever you witnessed growing up is going to help. And then reforming your relationships on communicating with one another, okay, in a positive way that can actually benefit you and the other person. Not saying things that, even if you like, and it's okay to express the like, okay, my feelings are hurt, without, you know, expressing it in a way that it's going to inflict pain upon somebody else. That's literally what I'm getting. Yeah. So this 3 of Swords energy literally could be because you've got more than one person that wants to make an offer, okay, to the Pisces. But again, just make sure that you are keeping this all in the down low and you're not telling anybody. Yeah, you're going to receive justice, though. I feel like you were done real dirty in past relationships. That was a cycle that's being broken. Literally, it's being broken. So I feel like your justice is going to be to get married and have a family. And then also your parents and their opinion, you know, they're going to have their own opinion when it comes to like culture and stuff like that. You may be expected to follow a certain pattern, but I get that, like, if you were to be able to get another job and date this Pisces energy, your parents would accept this person, okay? I don't get that they've really liked anybody that you've dated before. Wow, the Hangman. The card that just fell on the ground right now is literally the Hangman card, and that is the Pisces card. Okay. And it came in the reverse. It fell down. So this is talking about being preoccupied with an internal battle, the inability to make sense of problems due to the lack of insight. Pressure from society and others is overwhelming. What was I just saying about your parents? So again, with this person, like for some reason your parents feel like nobody is good enough for you. That's their opinion. But when it comes to love, you know, I feel like your mother wants you to be with somebody. It's like not wanting you to be alone. It says that do not rely on logical solutions. The best solution may be unorthodox. Temperance. Okay. You're going to be able to make balance with this person. I feel like emotionally, there is a similarity with you and this person. Look, the World. Okay, that's good. It's going to balance your life. This is what I was feeling of how a family is going to be formed. So it's up to you what you want to do, but just know that I guess the issue that you're facing is the manager that is a dickhead, okay? That also wants to be with them. And then the other opposition that you would face would be unhealed trauma from your past. And then the other opposition would be your mother and father maybe not accepting whoever this person is right away, okay? But that's something that over time they're going to have to get past. And I do feel like you're getting nervous. Well, you know what? It is nervous. Yeah, absolutely. It's a little nerve-wracking just because you guys work together. If you guys didn't work together, it would be a lot easier. So that is my advice. But the world card showing up here is a very good sign for you. So, you know, this person will help you create balance in your life. That's like literally what I'm being shown. Also, okay, the people that you've dated in the past were in their south node. They were very much in the devil energy. Not that they worship the devil, just the devil has to do with like addictions, toxicity, being materialistic, you know, substance abuse, like all that type of thing, overspending, being money orientated. That it's all that type of behavior. This Pisces is not in their south node, so they are awakened. You always have the mindset that you do not date coworkers. Yeah, and funny enough, this is your first time even putting yourself in this situation. Yeah, yes, that's why it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, absolutely. But now that you know what you're facing, you can probably you're very much a goal setter and you overcome things, okay, very easily. So I feel like, you know, as long as you do not tell the people that you work with that you've even got a crush, you'll be okay. But then if you end up feeling, let's say you end up asking this person on a date, if you end up going out with this person and you feel like they're somebody that you want to be a life partner with, then if you can, get another job, like literally. That would be probably my best advice. I get that you may end up getting another job anyways. To be honest, this manager coworker, whoever this manager person is, they've been looking for a reason to fire you for a long time. Like, I don't know if you picked up on that energy, but this person does not want you in the company. They feel like you're competition, and they also feel threatened by your presence for whatever reason. And they don't like how you connect with everybody that you work with. You're like connect with everybody that you work with. You may not be super sociable, but people like you, and this manager person, they don't like that. And so just know that is there. So yeah, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what you would be facing, and how to address that would be healing these wounds from the past. Yes, you know who this person is, and know that they're going to be trying to find a reason to fire you because they don't like you, point blank, period. And it's because other people like you. But you may end up finding another job anyways. And if you do, then that would give you like the green light to pursue this person. And I feel like be very, very easy with this person's heart. This Pisces has gone through a whole lot of bullshit. Like, I'm not kidding. How you have gone through so much bullshit that scarred you, this Pisces have gone through the same amount of bullshit that scarred them. So be very easy on their heart, because they could get very like, if you were to say something really bad to them, they could just be that they could take in a wrong way. They could cut you off right then and there just off of that. And so you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be reliving past trauma. And so just make sure that you heal from that, and heal from, you know, the whatever went on with your parents that you witnessed as a child, because that's going to definitely help healing that generational trauma. And then you just decide what you want to do with this person. But, you know, I feel like they have a very good heart, a very good soul. Yeah. It's definitely from an ex. I get that she's had at least 3 people that have put hands on her or been violent towards her or did some type of domestic violence towards her. Or it could have been, you know, domestic violence could be everything from cussing somebody out to like punching them in the face. So, and I don't know if she has children. That would be, see, that would be another thing to think about is, do you want children? If she's got children, looking at when it comes to where you guys are headed, looking at what her life path number is and what your life path number is. Yes, be as professional. Thank you, Melly Star. Be as professional and productive, you know, around the asshole. Yeah, and don't give them any reason to pick at you. Literally, that is great advice. Yeah, don't give them any reason to pick at you, because whoever this person is, they definitely want to be with this Pisces energy, and they can sense that, you know, like there is something demonic about this person. But the thing is that this Pisces they're in transition to their north node. They're not all the way in the north node. The north node is like when you know who you are spiritually, you're in your divine life purpose, and you basically become untouchable because you move out of like greed, envy, lust, all of those lower vibrational energies, and you move towards the positive high vibrational energies, and then you stay in that energy. So, you know, I feel like you're also in transition to the north node. So, all right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Oh my gosh, we had so many questions. I'm so glad that I was able to help you guys. Make sure that you like this video, tap the notification bell and all that good stuff, you guys, and I will be back on here soon, okay? And I will pray for you guys. Literally, I want everything to work out for everybody. And so just know what you guys are up against, that you are greater than anything that you're up against in this life, okay? All right, you guys, I love you. Peace be with you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day. Bye. Oh, you're welcome. I really appreciate you guys as well. Thank you to everybody that donated, and thank you everybody for being here with me. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.